What's up, y'all? Jason Earl from the Marinade here with another installment of Marinade Musings, where I talk about records. Today, I'm gonna bring another one of my all-time favorites to you. This is Black Ribbons by Shooter Jennings and Hierophant from 2010. Unfortunately, y'all, this is another really important record that is maybe more important now than when it was released. It's a concept record, a dystopian concept record about the last radio station, free radio station on the airwaves, and a fictional disc jockey named Will-O-the-Wisp, played by none other than Stephen King himself. I remember when this record came out, it blew my mind. I'd been a fan of Shooter's work for quite some time, really since his Put the O Back in Country, which was his debut record. I think I originally got into him just because of his famous parents, Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter, but Shooter quickly separated himself as an individual, and this record, maybe more so than any other, displays that. It's terrifying to listen to now because it feels way more appropriate at this moment than it did in 2010, even though a lot of people have, again, collective amnesia, like I talked about it on an earlier installment of this, about how things were, even in the mid-2000s. But now we have a fascist dictator who has been elected president of the United States and is immediately working on stripping away fundamental freedoms and basic rights. And so it's appropriate that I'm talking about this particular album. This is the 13th anniversary edition. It's gorgeous, this physical copy. The record itself, the album itself, the music on it is a departure from Shooter's earlier work sonically. It's him taking on all kinds of different sounds. There's some country sounding stuff and southern rock sounding stuff like we've been used to from him. There's also some much heavier rock and roll, and there's a lot of, it's dripping with conspiracy theory and also rooted very deeply in open facts that at the time we knew about power structures and we knew about the way that the ruling class kind of gives each other a leg up. But for me in 2010, it was an education. I think I kind of grew up in a pretty sheltered conservative environment, politically especially. And it took me a long time to understand power structures. It took me a long time to understand systemic inequality. And so this record was eye-opening for me in a lot of ways. And I think since then, Shooter and I have departed, I think, politically quite a bit. There's still some overlap and some commonalities in our beliefs, but I think our politics have diverged quite a bit, but that doesn't make any real impact on how much this album still, to me, feels incredibly important. The physical copy of the 13th anniversary edition is absolutely stunning. You've got two discs, one black and one white. These are the sleeves for those beautiful discs with all these kind of symbols on them. And then inside you have an insert that includes a couple of CDs as well. The one record is black and one is white, which I'm not exactly sure what he means by, but I've always kind of thought of it as sort of a yin and yang kind of concept. Stephen King himself, as I said, narrates the album. It is an absolute behemoth of a record in every way. The physical copy, as I just showed you, the music, the themes, and listening to it in the last few months, which I revisited it because we talked about this album on the very first episode of my podcast, Life's Greatest Hits, a vinyl swap with Jordan Foley. Re-listening to it, the themes in this have never felt more urgent than they do right now. So, highly recommend it. Shooter Jennings and Hierophant's Black Ribbons, one of my all-time favorite albums. Hope you dug this, guys. We have a bunch of other Marinade Musings on the way, and several episodes that are up on YouTube. So like and subscribe, please spread the word, leave a comment. Also follow us on socials. I've been taking a little bit of a social media break other than YouTube, but I'm gonna hop back on at least briefly because I have so many exciting things to talk about and share around the Marinade and Marinade media. Until next time, go out and create something. Cheers, y'all.